Hey everybody, welcome back to Baxter's Down South Customs. Cage, the Hot Rod Hooligan Barber. I literally just got home, got off the train just a little while ago, got home, loaded up truck, went to the dump, had enough time to change clothes, put on something comfortable. I mean, I'm in my shorts and my flip-flops, and cooked me a steak. I got a full belly. I've been up since 1 in the morning. I think it's, God, what time is it now? It's about 3 in the afternoon now. Honestly, not gonna do a lot today. This is gonna be the start of the video. I'm gonna do a bit of a tool opening. Bought me a new toy. It just showed up today. It's on sale. I've heard pretty good reviews about these. Something I've wanted forever. You know, anybody does any type of fabricating, cutting. So I've got a torch and all that, but finally bought me a plasma cutter. I got one of the YESWELDERs, got it on sale. Can't remember, I got so much off. And then I also got bought a bag of consumables with it. Hadn't even opened it yet. I think I'm under $300 total. I mean, shipping and all. I think the welder itself was like $272 is what I paid for the welder. Anyways, I'm gonna get this thing kind of opened up. Take us a look. Might make just a video of us kind of playing with it, testing it out. It does do 110 and 220. Right now I will mainly be using it on just 110 because I don't have any power. Ran out here to the shop, so we'll be running off extension cords anyways. Eventually I will have a 220 outlet out here. All right, what's in this one? First box, let's set these consumables over here. Boxes in a box, you gotta love it. Ground clamp, power adapter, gas hose, operator's manual, quick connect, and plastic torch. Alright. All the goodies. Guess that would be the air hose or gas hose. Manual with a little Teflon tape. Ground lead. There's our 220 adapter. And our plasma torch. Now let me prop this thing up, and I'll work on getting the rest of it out of the box. Maybe, possibly. This ain't the best spot for this. That'll work. It'll stay for a minute. It'll stay until it falls. Lighter than I was expecting. Now I just ordered this literally a couple days ago. It showed up pretty quick. I think it shipped out of Kentucky. I'm not exactly sure where these guys are based out of, but they've actually got a new welder coming out. It's the, it does MIG, TIG, stick, and pulse welding for MIG. It has option of an aluminum spool gun. You can, like I said, you can TIG with it. You can't TIG, it doesn't do AC, so you can't TIG aluminum, but you can MIG aluminum with it. And I'm really debating about buying it. My old welder over there's like I said, it's seen better days. So overall, give you all a good little view of the box. So this is just the initial unwrapping. I think this thing will do, I can't remember the thickness it'll cut. I'll go back and read over it and get out here and we'll kind of fully set this thing up. But I'm not going to do it right now. I just want to get out here and open it and look at it, get eyes on it. About to go back in the house at the moment and just chill. Like I said, pretty much been up all night, worked through the day, half the day. I'm kind of tired. So I know tomorrow morning, got to go to Chattanooga with the missus. Our son's got a doctor's appointment. He does have a few minor medical issues. Just below the spectrum. He's not autistic, just literally just below that. But he does have Tourette's. Doesn't have the form of Tourette's where you blurt stuff out, you know. His version, he's just got tics. He's got little things he can't hold still, yada yada. And then ADHD, you know. But we try to keep him active and keep him engaged, to keep all that good. Torch seems pretty good. It's got a little safety handle for when you're not using it to keep it from the trigger from being accidentally hit. A little bit of a swivel built in. Kind of like it. I think, there we go. See here, we got a little bit of a standoff gauge. Goes on the end of it. I think that's for doing your consumables. Let's see here. Finish up packing. Alright. Ground lead. Doesn't look too bad. Standard ground lead. There's our air fitting. User's manual, little Teflon tape. Alright. So, like I said, I'm going to read through this. Put this thing together. Probably go ahead and kind of put it together at the moment. I think it's got a built-in little air dryer. It does right there on the back. And the push connect fitting. That's cool. Their welder that I'm thinking about buying, which it's you can reserve it right now. Of course, by the time this video comes out, probably be a day or two before the release date. Right now, you can pre-order it for like 30 bucks prior to the release date and get it $200 or $300 cheaper than what you're going to be selling it for. So it's not a bad deal, especially for everything it does. Like if you don't have a welder yet at all, yeah, I said it'll do MIG TIG stick, it does flux core, do gas on it. So it's especially somebody who's just learning to weld or just wants to get into it and have everything. It's a pretty good deal, in my opinion. Like I said, I gotta read all the specifications on this, but I'm going to go ahead and we'll go ahead and set this up and kind of piece it together. I think here in the near future, I'm going to make a bigger purchase of one of those large welding carts from Harbor Freight. That'll hold MIG, TIG, and I can be able to put everything on it, but they're like $400, almost $500. Anyways, part of this is pretty self-explanatory. Start off with our ground. It's got a right there. Should just lock in right here. That's it. Yeah, that's for gas. All right, ground's locked in. Like I said, this pretty much can't mess this up. Red wire, I know it's supposed to be red, it's burgundy. And then clearly that's just your ground, or not ground, but part of your power there. But that's what locks it in right there. Little two-prong plug. It's got a groove, matches right here. Put that in, screw it together. No thread though, no. I'd be in pain. You take that off. Get that out of my way for a second. There it goes. Guess it just didn't have a good angle on it. And last, this is where your air will blow through, or gas if you do run gas through them. There are certain types of plasma cutters, or certain type of plasma cutting, especially on some of the big industrial ones, that they don't run just compressed air. I've seen industrial ones, they'll run some kind of shielding gas essentially for them. But that's like big production fab shops. Most people like me, I'm just gonna run compressed air. Let's plug this thing up real quick. Sorry, getting the collar off the 220. Where's the adapter for 110? There's my adapter plug. I gotta quit carrying this thing around and just set y'all down and let y'all watch. Anyway. I said we're not going to cut with it just yet. Like I said, I don't have my air compressor going. I've not put in the air fitting yet. What I do want to do, which cord is closest, is I want to take a look at the display screen. So to do that, we need to plug it up. Alright, on and off switches right here on the back. So fires up. This is your amperage. Like on 110, they'd only go to 45. I think with the 220, it'll do up to 65. Post flow, you can set other things on it. Like I said, I'm not going to play with all this right now. I just wanted y'all to kind of see the screen. So far, happy with the purchase. Of course, I won't know till we fire it up and see how it actually cuts. True test of a plasma cutter, you know, cutting stuff. So, anyway, all right. Well, let me get a couple more things hooked up and we'll go from there. And I'll be back later. Like I said, I think I ain't gonna really hang out here today. But I'll be out here tomorrow after I get back from our son's appointment. So tomorrow we'll actually play with this thing, do a little cutting, give y'all my honest opinion, review on it, let you know if I think it's worth it. While we're doing that, I'll go ahead and go over those gear wrench pliers that I bought. I'll give y'all my review of those. And actually, we might make just a video with a little bit of a tool review there. Make a quick little easy video. It'll keep me a video ahead. But that's it for now. Until tomorrow for me, a couple seconds for you. We'll be back. Alright guys, I came back out here for a little bit. On this, this is the YESWELDER CUT-65DS. This is their newest one with the digital screen. A couple more little features on it. I figured we'd go ahead and go over real quick. I went ahead and replaced it. It came with a push connect fitting right here. I went ahead and replaced it with a standard air fitting because that's what I will be using. I do like the push connects. Be good for different setups, but for me, like I said, using a regular air hose, it'd be easier just to clip to that. This is also your pressure regulator. It's currently locked. You push it down to lock. So when you want to adjust your pressure, you literally pull up on it, gives a little pop, and it's a counterclockwise to go down on your pressure, clockwise to go up, and then when you get it where you want it, you push it down, locks it in. One of the neat things on the screen, Well, I can plug it back in real quick. Just turn my fan off because it was loud. Alright. Show y'all on the screen real quick. Still haven't actually test cut with this yet. I'm going to do that tomorrow. But just kind of doing a little more research on this thing overall. You see right here it flashed 220 at first and then went to 110 because I am hooked to 110. There we go. It initially popped up as 220, but it went to 110. It automatically detects the voltage you've got it set to. Now we're getting an error message on this side. This is actually for your air pressure. Of course, you adjust it back off the valve there. It does have recommended pressure settings, whether you're cutting with the 110 or 220. Matter of fact, there's a sticker on it and another one right here as well. It says 45 to 60 pounds for 110, 60 to 90 for the 220. But it's a very nice display. I think you can change your units. I'll keep mine in PSI. You got a post flow, how long the air flows after you turn it off. Right now I'm going to leave that default, but you can fine tune it for the way you like. I opened up a little bag of consumables. It came with 2 more of these little rings here that are on the gun. The only thing those are for is to keep your spacing off material while you're cutting. Eventually though you'll kind of burn through those, but it came with 2 of those. Came with the retainer and the pieces for the actual electrode. You get several of those. This little bit I got here, this ought to last a little while. I need to get a little container. Probably something like this. Go to Walmart, give me like a little tackle box, and I'll put all that in. Said tomorrow when I come back out here, we're actually going to do some cutting with this, only in the 110 setting because I don't have a 220 run, and see how it does. On 220, I seen a guy cut through 3/4 inch steel plate with this like it was butter. So I think it'll do more than anything I ever need. The thickest thing I could ever see me really trying to cut is 1/2 inch, and that'd be a rarity. Most common for me will be 1/8 inch, 3/16 and 1/4, and maybe an occasional 3/8 piece. But most time 1/4 is probably the thickest I'm going to be cutting with it. And I do think this is going to be perfect for the shop. Like I said, though, tomorrow we'll try it out and give y'all a good review. Tomorrow I'm also going to go give y'all my first review of these. I've used every one of them so far. I'm also going to give a review of a couple other GEARWRECH products. Of course, keep saying tomorrow. It'll be this video for y'all, but tomorrow for me, this Allen bit set or hex key set. I've used it some. It's real nice. So we'll give a review of it here in just a little bit. A couple other little tools I have of theirs. We'll go ahead and just give a quick review of those. And I ain't even used this one yet. We will use it tomorrow in the video for the first time. This is the riv nut tool from Harbor Freight. This is probably one of their better ones. I also, off Amazon, bring y'all around here. Actually just showed y'all the box a second ago. Picked me up an assortment of riv nuts. We're going to be using, I think it's some of these 5/16 ones tomorrow, right here. I'll show you what we're going to do with them. On the front clip of the 51, the back of the way the fender's attached, there are 2 bolts here, 1 here at the bottom, but there's 3 here that go along the cow. You can see them over there. Anyways, but they just have these old school clips, and it is literally, the bolts that go in them look like lag bolts. And to me, it just, I can't see them keeping enough tension on them. Looks like they'd eventually back their way out. Wish I had one of them handy. So anyways, the hole, roll this away. The hole there here is already perfect size. We're at 5/16 when it just popped right in. Well, a little fitting in there. But once I, do the rib tool, that'll be perfect. I'll do one there, one down here. Do them on each side, and then show you what actually where the mount point is on the car. So those can be centered pretty well. These here are larger holes. You can see there. Drop that. Here. So that'll give me my wiggle room adjustment for bolting those on. That's one of the things we'll do to test that out. I'll at least go ahead and put one or two of them in. I've been planning on doing that in the wall for a while, so that's why I bought that tool. Trying to think what else I can review. Like I said, there's a couple of products we'll cover, just because I've got them. I'll be getting some more products here soon, or more tools. I'm gonna get up here tomorrow after we get back from the doctor, which y'all can see us in a few minutes or whatever. But I'm gonna come back, clean up a little spot, probably bring out one of my folding tables. That way I can kind of make a better display, make it a little neater looking. We'll do one part at a time and go from there. So initially, I think we're going to start off with the YESWELDER CUT-65DS, and then we'll move on to the other stuff. I'm really excited about coming out and playing with that. I've wanted to buy a plasma for years, and finally talked myself into doing it. When it comes to certain tools, I don't know why. I have to really talk myself into spending the money. And here's a funny story. I've got a bigger toolbox. It's a Husky. I mean, it ain't nothing special, but it's a good sized toolbox. And it's almost $700, I think, new. And every time we went to Lowe's, I think it was Lowe's. Anyways, I would try to talk myself into buying this toolbox. And it was probably back and forth for 6 months, maybe more. And I finally, like, screw it, I'm doing it. I sucked back a little money and went out there and I bought it. The thing is, I did not buy the unassembled version, and that was my mistake there. I bought one that they already had assembled on the floor. We loaded it on the trailer. Well, I didn't notice it loading it, but I guess the guys in the store who put it together didn't put all the bolts in the wheels. Matter of fact, here's the toolbox. Sorry for the junk here, but there's the back wheel laying on the ground. Anyways, I had this thing strapped down there. I think they had one or two bolts, and they just had them very in loosely. Like, it rode on the trailer fine. So we were towing this, I was trailering this thing home, had it strapped down, and we actually ended up having to go like an hour away to visit my wife's dad and all this. And then on the way back, we're on our way home. We'd been driving this thing on a trailer for hours, and we're literally 10 minutes from home. I go to make a turn, and because that wheel was loose, the trailer, the brand new toolbox dipped on one side and come out of the straps and flipped off the trailer. You can see it crushed here on this corner, and it crushed over there on that corner. It actually binged up the drawers, the upper deck there. You talking about mad, damn it. Oh, I was livid. and it can't take it back, you know, it's just do that kind of damage. So I ended up bringing it home. And it just really, what really irked me is I literally would go there and be like, all right, I need this toolbox, I need it. No, I don't need it, I don't need it. And I would sit there and talk myself out of buying it. And my wife would be with me, and she's like, no, you need it, go, you know, you got all this stuff, you need to put it in it. And like I said, it took me 6 months to talk myself into buying it, and then the day I buy it, it flips off a trailer. And I had that thing strapped, but it was just because that one wheel come off, and then it allowed that one corner to drop, and then that was it. They put enough slack in the straps to... Anyway, so sometimes I'm a little hesitant when it comes to buying stuff. Other times I'm not, you know. Little things, not so much. Bigger purchases, and this wasn't a huge purchase. This was, like I said, it was... I'll go back and look at my invoice and I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure it was like $272 for this one because I got so much off. And then, like I said, I'm really think I'm gonna buy that welder that they're coming out with, their DP 200. It's what is it? It's $399. Normal price is supposed to be $700, so essentially it's $300 off right now if you register before the launch, which by the time I get this video out and y'all watch it, y'all have a day or two left, hopefully. So yeah, anyway, I don't know, I've been sitting in there, I was in there and sitting on the couch about to doze off, and I'm trying to stay awake. Like I said, I've been up since 1 a.m. this past morning. But I want to sleep through the night, and if I went to bed this early, it just, you know, ain't gonna happen. And I don't like just sitting, so at least I had to come out here in the garage, and I'm just kind of literally roaming around my garage at the moment. About to go crack open a nice cold adult beverage or a wobbly pop or whatever you want to call them. But I was just kind of getting ideas for future videos and content. So I'm gonna quit rambling, and we're gonna get into these tool reviews because I know it's what you're watching this video for. You don't, well, you partly apparently want to listen to me talk, but we're talking. You want to hear this video? Let's talk about the tools. So anyway, I'll shut up and let's get on with these tool reviews. Alright everybody, we're back here in the garage. Next day, little men's appointment went fine. But anyways, we're going to start off with tool review, like I said earlier in the video. This is the YESWELDER CUT-65DS plasma. Seen a little bit of an unboxing yesterday and us putting it together. As far as putting this thing together, it's very user friendly. I've only got to play with it for a minute or two. I did switch out the fitting here in the back. Got rid of the push connect and did a regular plug style, regular air fitting. I said, I was just playing with this thing for a minute. I had it on, the lowest setting this thing does on 110 is 20 amps as far as cutting. And it cut through 1/4 inch plate, 1/8 inch, and of course 18 gauge sheet metal. I mean, just sliced like butter through the 18 gauge. Cut fine through the 8 and even 1/4. You just had to go a little slower. Only issue I've been having with this thing so far, and I don't know if it's, like I said, I'm out here running off extension cords. And of course you have a power drop on extension cords, or I don't know if it's a built-in safety feature on this machine. I tried turning up the amperage, and when I do, I get an initial plasma spark, and it'll start to cut, and then it stops. It just doesn't finish. Matter of fact, let me show you a little small sample piece here. Should be good and cool where I was playing. All right. You can see these always did a little initial. It would cut just for a second and it would stop. But once I dropped the amperage, I mean, it cut and it just sliced through. Of course, I didn't break off the slag, but it cut just fine. But anytime I try turning the amperage up, is when it would have that issue of wanting to cut out. I don't know if that's a built-in safety feature, almost like a smart detect for what you're cutting, or if it's sensing. I think it's probably sensing the amount of power it's pulling from the particular cord, because it automatically on the screen adjusts from 220 to 110. I think if I was directly into a wall plug, I think it would probably do better. Or if I had a very heavy duty extension cord. The extension cord I'm using is a very small, thin one. A little 25 footer, I think, if that. So it's not really the best extension cord in general. So I think, like I said, I think that's the only issue. Other than that, so far, I'm very impressed with how well it cut. So, you know, the only part I didn't care for is that initial trying to get it to cut. Usually I just turn them on and they cut. I've never had one that would cut out, but I think it's, like I said, I think it's a built-in safety feature. I do need to go back and read a little more. But like I said, I'm into this thing for, I think it was $272. And for that cost, man, it's a great little machine. As long as it holds up and lasts, I think it'll be more than enough for what I need, especially if it's cutting through 1/4 inch. I'm gonna have to do something about this GoPro. I don't know why it just stops recording, but it's getting very annoying when it does it. Anyways, as I was saying, this thing, like I said, I think it'll do more than what I need it for. And that was on 110 volts, and I said it's cutting through 1/4 inch, no problem. So I can only imagine how well it'll do once I actually have my 220 plug in here. So I would highly recommend one of these right off the bat, especially for the price and affordability. If you're a hobbyist wanting to do some cutting out floor pans or whatever. Here in a second, I'm going to give a little bit of a demonstration of this thing cutting. When I do the demonstration here in just a second, I am going to turn the amperage up and show y'all what it was doing when it's cutting out. And like I said, I think it's just a built-in safety feature. But other than that, this thing is working great. So I did turn my air pressure down. I think I'm running it closer to the 45 pounds instead of the 60. I could probably turn that back up. I was just playing with it a little bit, but it's easy to adjust. Yeah, but that's my overall review on this YESWELDER. So let's do a little bit of a demonstration. That way y'all can see this thing in doing what it does. So let's go from there. Actually, first things first, before we do that, I'm going to actually plug this thing up right here on the table. Hook the air up. Steal the plug from my fan. Not sure how much I'm going to do out here in the garage over the next couple days. I know I got tomorrow's my off day. But the next couple days here is supposed to be 97 degrees, almost 100, and that's not the heat index, it's just regular temperature. So it's going to be hot. And I don't like the heat that much anymore. Anyway. Alright, with those hooked up, get the camera up over here where y'all can see a little better. You can see right now, reading what our PSI is. I believe you can change the units. I'll leave mine on PSA. And here's where you change your post flow. You can see nothing's hooked up, but it'll and that there is exactly what it's doing when it starts to cut, but won't when I have it grounded. You know, I get that initial little plasma and it stops. And yes, it was grounded and everything, but I'll demonstrate that in just a second. So anyways, I just want to show you all the actual gauge reading where it does that. And you'll see the gauge drop when you'll see the gauge numbers drop when I actually hit the trigger. So that's just reading the actual, that's the flow I've got it set at right now, about 48 pounds. So anyways, let me set up a little demonstration area and we'll show you how well this thing cuts. Alright, we're grounded directly to the metal. This is just some 1/8 inch scrap I had. So we're going to start off, show you what it does on 1/8 inch. I mean, you see it just slid right through that. I didn't get a full penetration at the end initially. But yeah, that's clean cut. You see it's a even heat soak. So all that looks good. Let's see. This is just some 18 gauge flat sheet. Like butter, man. I mean, that's nothing to it. But like I say, now while we're cutting, I said I ain't touched, changed anything. You can see I'm sitting on that 20 amps. So with it on at 20 amps still. Alright, this is a 1/4 inch plate, which overall for the most part is about the thickest I'll ever be cutting. Almost penetrated all the way through. That where it's cutting in and out, that's kind of what I'm talking about when I turn up the amperage. Earlier I cut right through this. I think I was just going a little fast. There it goes. I don't know, it's like it almost sends through the gap. Like if you're hit when I was crossing over this little cut spot that's in this metal, it cut out immediately. I'm gonna go back here where there's no gap. We're gonna try this again. I'm getting good penetration, it's just, I don't know why I'm cutting out. Got a different extension cord hooked up right now. I'm going to try just playing with the amperage. I'm going up to 25 amps. See what it's doing there where it's cutting in and out? That's the issue I keep having if I turn the amperage up at all. I mean, earlier it cut through this just fine. I'm going to turn it back down to 20 amps. And you cut through it. It doesn't, like I said, 1/4 inch I think is about the, I don't know, I literally think the issue is with my plugs and the lack of power on 110 volts. But I said most of the time I'm not going to be cutting anything this thick. Except for maybe when we're doing that F800. Most of the time it'll be this 1/8 inch, which it's an 1/8 inch it has no issue with. And then the I need to find some 3/16. Well, now it's being difficult. Well, I'm getting penetration. I don't know why it's... Well, here I am trying to give this thing a good review, and it's just being stubborn. Not sure what I need to do here. I'm going to read up. I've never had this issue with a plasma, and it might just be some operator error. Like I said, it could, like I said, because I'm running off these extension cords. This thing is built to be used as a very portable. Take it where you need to go. So this is frustrating here. Okay, that's the prettiest cut I've done with it. Only thing I didn't penetrate right here at the end. The only thing different I did was I tilted the head back just a little bit. It might be the key is the angle. Okay, it seems to like that better as far as cutting. Just angling the head back just a little bit. Switch back over that 1/4 inch, see if that makes a difference on it as well. I keep clamping that, just use the ground. There we go. Let's see if this makes a difference. Angling that head back. Does not work as well on 1/4 doing that with that head back. It was just, you can see. So let's go back, straight up and down. I think it's a combination of a couple things. The speed I'm going at. Certain speeds it seems like it cuts better. I think 1/4 inch, like I said, might be a little thick for the 110 volts. Or for the 110. I think if you're cutting 1/8 inch, as long as you got your angles and everything right, you're good. Ooh, that's warm. Anyway, this I think that's enough of a demonstration on this one. Hold on. Anyway, I was going to change the zoom. Like I said, I think it's a good machine. Right now, I think the little faults I'm having with it, as far as it's cutting material, and it's literally just my power source. We are, like I said, running off 110 volts and running off extension cords. So I've got an extension cord running from the house over to here, and that's almost 50 foot there. And then it's plugged into a splitter and going into multiple things. So I honestly think that's the issue. Like I said, I got a couple lights being drawn off of it, or, you know, fan, a few other things. So don't judge it based off that initial performance. All the other reviews I've seen this thing are good. I said my initial cuts are good. But that where it starts to cut and cuts out, I think, like I said, that's the issue of power. I'm either trying to use too much amperage and it knows it can't support it. It kicks off before it, you know, pops the fuse. Or it could be a couple other little things. But overall, I think that one's a good machine. Let me know if y'all have had any similar issues, or what you guys think about it. For the guys who own this YESWELDER CUT-65DS, I'd like to hear y'all's opinion on it. Like I said, all the other reviews I've seen have been good. And right now I'm staying positive on it. Like I said, it is a cheaper machine. I think it's good overall. Anyway, so we're going to end that part of the review, and then we're going to go into our next tool. So let me turn this off, get set up for our next tool, and we'll go from there. All right, y'all. We're moving on to the next part of our little tool review. And we're going to start off with we're going over gear wrench now. Like I told y'all in earlier videos, I plan on upgrading almost all of my tools to gear wrench. I like the quality, the price, and everything. But so let's start off with these wrenches. These are the ones I got at Discount Outlet. So I got them cheap. We're going to start off with the simple. It's a little pair of dikes. So I got these for $5, brand new. And for comparison, these are don't mind a little surface rust. It got humid out here one day. Anyways, these are the Quinn Harbor Freight brand, I think, dikes to compare them to. Which overall price, I think these actually were a little more than these, or I can't remember. But this is an 1/8 inch welding rod. And just using the dikes to cut it, fair amount of pressure. Now keep in mind, I want you to look at the size difference. So that means you're going to get less leverage with these gear wrench ones. And this is the same rod I just cut. And that's like, I literally used probably half the force I did with those. I mean, it's cutting this like nothing. Whereas when I cut with these, I gotta give a lot more force. So first things first, these little dikes or cutters, they're great. I think they're a lot better than the cheap ones you get at Harbor Freight. Even if you can't get them for the price I did, I would recommend these. They also have a small crimp section here at the base, where these here don't. So, great tool. Definitely recommend. Now, I've not used this particular pair much. These are just your typical old school slip joint pliers, which are always good to have. But overall, just let me tell you, well, hold on one second. I got something to compare this to. Here's your traditional old school pliers. And you see these are definitely old school. But the head thickness is one of the big differences you can see. You got more leverage on the handle from pivot point down, so you get a better grip with these. Now they're not as long on the head, but to me, you're going to get a better bite because of the shorter head with a little more pivot behind it. I said they are your standard slip joint. So overall, again, I think these are a good quality, especially for the value. Should have grabbed a bolt to demonstrate with these. These are the small, I'm not going to call them channel locks, but it has the option for, it's self-adjusting. So you go to, I mean, it can be all the way down, and you can go to clamp onto something, and it automatically adjusts back, and then at the bite will lock itself in. And you can turn the automatic bite off as well, or you're just using them regular. I like the auto bite. I said it does help adjust. And seems to have a real good grip. Now, and then we're going to go straight to that, to the big channel locks. Now I'm going to be comparing these channel locks. I was using these the other day, and I was putting a lot of torque squeezing. And I've got a couple other pair of channel locks. Like here's some, what are these, Job Smart. Issue I have with these, it's got the little nut here, and this thing constantly is loosening itself up. I don't know how many times I've, adjusted and been squeezing, and these things slip, the jaws do, and I've pinched the crap out of myself. So I don't like these. And I mean, you can see the difference in the size of the head. Also, I even got a set of the big Milwaukee ones. The big Milwaukee ones, and I've got the small Milwaukees too. This is bigger than the small Milwaukees, but it's not as big as the big Milwaukees. And then this thing here, you can see comparison is just huge. It doesn't seem to have the slop back and forth like a lot of these do when you're adjusting, but it does slide and still fit in real good when you get it in your channel. Seems to have a lot of bite, a lot of strength, and like I said, I like the fact that these have not slipped on me. It is a set pin. I'm not sure how they do that, but anyway, very good quality. I'm very happy with these. Like I said, so far these gear wrench pliers I've bought, I'm ecstatic with. Especially compared to my other ones. Don't get me wrong, I do like my Milwaukee ones, but I think these are better. Especially better than any of the Harbor Freight ones I get. And I'm not bashing on Harbor Freight. I'm a Harbor Freight fan. I buy a lot of stuff from there. But for the price I pay for these and what I pay you buy them at Harbor Freight, this was a better deal. And these are the Gear Wrench Pit Bull pliers. So if you have a chance, get you some of these. I don't think you'll regret it at all. Like I said, these little dikes, it still just impresses me at how easy these things are cutting. And I'm not even squeezing hard. So even going, now if I go to the very high top of it, it takes a bit more force. But if you're low in the pivot, oh, that's butter. But these, even low in the pivot, which I was low every time, it's a bit more force. And it amazes me, these are a smaller plier with less, they're less length, so you're getting less leverage for a clamp, and they're just cutting so much better. Now it could just be because they're new and sharper, it could be a part of it. But anyway, moving on. Like I said, we're just going to do all gear wrench. I'm just going to go ahead and review all the gear wrench stuff I've got. This was not the first. This was the second thing my son bought me as far as tools at a gear wrench, and I love this little set. It's a 1/4-inch drive. My 9/16 is over there somewhere. But anyway, it's got a standard metric up to 9/16 on the standard, and up to 13 mil on the metric side. It did come with a bunch of bits. I'm terrible about misplacing bits. And it comes with one extension. And these two slots here were these removable heads. I have misplaced one of those. That is one of my only gripes with this set, is I like this feature and don't like this feature. What I don't like about it is the fact that if these are loose, very easy to misplace. Now, plus side is the fact that it's removable. You take your standard bit and it locks in, and now you got a little bit driver, a ratcheting bit driver. It's nice. Now you can, I'm about to order some. They do still, they sell these. I'm curious. I've got, I think it's standard. It's standard size. It says if using an extension. I've got the little 1/4-inch drive that would go into a bit driver like gun. I think it'll fit in here just fine, and then it basically gives you a little extra extension. I do like the little ratchet I use all the time. It's very handy. The fact that the head is adjustable and you can lock it into place, and it's short and stubby. You can get this into a lot of places. I don't use the big one as much, but this has come in handy too, especially it's a very slim design. I've gotten it in a few places. Couldn't get a little bit larger ratchet, and of course it gives you a lot more leverage. It's good for breaking small boats, I guess you'd say. I have took a couple heads off, but I think they were just rusted bolts. So this is a very nice little set. It's very handy. Matter of fact, they sell a whole nother box of all these bits. I think I'm about to order just another bit set and order me about 6 of those. No, look at that one. Oh, there it is. For now, I keep this one stored upside down in whichever ratchet I'm using. There is one other complaint about these. Sometimes you will go to pull your socket off. That comes off with it. I almost wish they had a little bit of a push button lock to lock this in. So my 2 complaints, like I said, is the fact that they don't have a little lock for this, and these are easily losable because they come out. That's the only real complaints I have. Like I said, I do like everything else about it. I do still like the fact that this comes out and you can swap it in and out and put your other bits. So overall, I think it's a great tool. I would actually very highly recommend it. So anyways, there's that one. It's a little GEARWRECH 1/4-inch drive set with exchangeable bits. So, like I said, another great set. Highly recommend it. Check it out if you can. Next thing, my first introduction to GEARWRECH, my son had got me for Christmas, was this tool roll big wrench set. Somehow I've managed to misplace 5 of the smallest ones, which are from 3/8, 5/16. Anyways, the 5 sizes down below 7/16. But it goes all the way up to a 1 1/4. These are nice long wrenches, even on 9/16. These are a combination wrench, so it's open box in. These are great quality. I've not stripped or rounded off any bolts with these. Definitely better than the ones you get from Harbor Freight. Better than old school Craftsman. I ain't gonna say new Craftsman. New Craftsman is junk. But old school Craftsman, I had some old school ones used by my grandpa. I like these a lot better. I said they're a real good quality. So check out the GEARWRECH wrenches. Great quality. I do like the tool roll. I'm getting ready to get a bunch of organization things for my toolbox. It's just a disaster. Anyways, moving on to the wrenches. I got this set here. You can usually find this at Tractor Supply carries it. This is all ratcheting wrenches, also combination. It goes from a 1 1/4-inch drive up to a 13/16 in the ratcheting. On standard metric, it goes from 8 millimeter to 17. And then on the stubbies, metric, it goes from a 10 to a 15. And on standard, 5/16 to a 5/8. So, real nice set. I use these all the time. I still got them in the original tray. You can see here. Just so, you know, it helps me keep me organized until I gotta get some actual wrench holders to go in my toolbox. I was waiting initially till I got some more of these to put everything all in at once. I use these all the time. I had some of the cheap Harbor Freight ones again, and after a few uses I stripped the ratchet out on them. Not even a whole lot of torque on them. So far I've not had any issues in really torquing on some of these, especially the 1/2 inch, 9/16 and 5/8 are the ones I use the most. Haven't had any issues. So another real good quality product from GEARWRECH. I can't tell you enough to check them out. Now keep in mind, I am not sponsored anyway. I've only got 100 people on this channel. Well, I think 104 or 5 making this video right now. So yeah, there's no way anybody's sponsoring me at the moment. I am not sponsored for the YESWELDER that we reviewed, for these GEARWRECH products. Nobody's sponsoring me. These are just my honest opinions. Take them with a grain of salt. You know what to say about opinions, man. Opinions like assholes. Everybody's got one. Some big, some small. Most are just full of shit. Anyways, next on the GEARWRECH setup is this Allen wrench and Torx key set. I've only used this a little bit, but so far I'm very impressed. Cheaper Allen key sets. Allen keys and Torx, everybody should know they're very easy to strip out. So far I've not had any issues with these, but I still have limited use. They also got the star bit head ones for the, you know, basically it's the opposite of those. And yeah, very nice. Like I said, I still have limited use with this, but overall, I mean, the packaging's nice. This will stay in this, even for organization. There's 3/8 drive on all of these. Every bit of this 3/8 drive. Except there's a 1/4 inch drive, if I'm not mistaken. These are 1/4 inch. These are 1/4 inch. These few here are 1/4. Everything else is 3/8 drive. Sizes in the metric are a 3 up to a 10 millimeter. Standard is 5/32 to 3/8. Now on the Torx, you got a T40, 45, 47, T50, 55, T60, and a T70. 1/4 inch drive. You got anywhere from a T10 to a T30. Same thing. You got from there's a T20, 25, 27, T30. So a couple of them they're pretty much the same. I guess you got doubles of a couple. More, I guess some of your more common. These here, I'm not sure what that head is called, but it's the star head. It's kind of basically the reverse of these. Actually, this one matches to this one. But these go from an E10, E12, E14, and E16, and then in 1/4 inch drives you got an E6, E7, E8. Almost like your enlisted ranks in the military there, the lower ones. But like I said, nice set overall. I've mainly used the Allen key ones, working on some of my front end stuff. Not used any of the Torx bits yet, but still nice quality. Got a nice little case with it, storage. If you go on the GEARWRECH website, they sell some nice pieces that have these EV foam trays, so it's pre-organized, which I plan on getting some of those. I'm gonna get a couple different wrench sets. I plan on getting some socket and ratchet sets, replacing what I've got. Like I said, I've got the Harbor Freight ones. They're okay. I've got some old Craftsman tools. Like I said, back from 20, 30 years ago when Craftsman was still pretty good. And I've got one high dollar ratchet. I've got a Matco ratchet. That was a gift from my son as well. But I'm going to upgrade, so I'm getting ready to get a set it at the deep wells and shallows and all those things. It'll be a little at a time. But this so far is all the gear wrench stuff I've got. I got the pliers, the little 1/4-inch drive set, the Allen Torx bolt set. Got this one set of ratcheting wrenches here, and then that tool roll of wrenches as well. Like I said, I'm very happy with all those. I think they're all very good products. So that about covers it on this particular tool review. I hope y'all enjoyed. I ain't gonna say it was informative. Like I said, it's my opinion, and you know, I said about opinions. Still can't stress how much I like these things. Now the YESWELDER, I know in the demonstration I was struggling a little bit, and like I said, we'll come back and revisit the review on this one once I get my power ran over here, and or I might even just take it over to my other garage, plug it straight into the wall. Probably be the best thing to do for a better review. But I really need to plug it into a 220, which I don't have a 220 outlet in that garage either, unless I was to go into my laundry room and plug it into my dryer or unplug my dryer. But anyway, we're going to do. We'll get a better review on that here soon, especially on the 220. We are going to get the power ran here soon, and I am going to have a single 220 outlet in this garage with an extension cord for everything. But it's going to be a good quality, probably a 8 gauge or even bigger extension cord for that. That way we don't have the power drop. Oh, we do have one more tool review. It is a Harbor Freight tool. Let me grab it real quick. All right, this is a rib cert tool from Harbor Freight. It's the Doyle. All right, it comes with gives you a small assortment of rib certs. It comes with a total of six adapters, or 6 different styles you can do. You can do, as far as metric, you got an M5, it's the smallest, M6, and the M8. They do come in these nice little containers. Each one, this is what's in each container. It's your head, which is what screws into the actual rib cert and locks it in. So this is so it comes with 6 of these. That's the metric. Your standard, you've got a 10 by 24, a 1/4 inch by 20, and a 5/16 by 18. Only complaint right now on this overall thing, on the standard, I wish it had went up to a 3/8. I'm sure somebody makes one. I'll even see if this Doyle offers a 3/8 setup, because in my assorted size I do have up to 3/8. I do have one other complaint. The initial instructions. Oh, sorry. Here's the main tool. Comes with this little built-in wrench for removing the head and stuff. It's different sizes depending on which one of these heads you have in. Now the initial instructions are a little vague as far as taking this off, but essentially you just unscrew this. This comes off, and then you got to unscrew this head. You can see this moves a little bit, but when I first done it, I was pushing down. You can see I'm pushing down on that cylinder. Well, that wasn't moving. I was like, well, you can't get a screw head on that. But then when I came over top of it, which this locks in, now I ain't gonna do it. There he goes. That will actually slide down, but doesn't expressly say, you know, slide this collar down. But that's the only way you're going to get to it. At first, I mean, I was putting some pressure on it. It's almost like it was stuck. But now it comes up pretty good, and then you just unscrew this. All right. So installation, same thing. You literally just screw this in. Add your head, which this whole thing does not have to come off. Well, it does to get to that. This is a separate piece, which, like if I was changing this out to the smaller one, you can see it has a separate nut. That's that top nut there. So you have to initially take the whole thing out. So you may need you a second set of pliers. Something just to kind of hold this. Break that loose. Sweating, sorry. Anyways, so that comes out pretty easy. Anyway, so you screw it in. A little bit of torque on it, tighten it down. Don't over torque it. There's no reason to. Then you screw this in. And again, no reason to really over tighten this. I'll tell you what, for demonstration purposes, I use standard more than I do anything. I'm not a big metric person. So let's turn this, just swap this out to one of these metric setups. I'll open up one of these metric packs just to show y'all how a rivsert works for those who do not know. Recommendation when you're doing this, if you have your own, as soon as you take one out before you pull the other one, go ahead and put this away. That way you're not getting things mixed up. I haven't paid that much attention to see how well these are marked. Oops. Let's see. It does have M8 on that. They are marked, so I mean you can, but just to me, in my opinion, it'd be a little easier. You ain't gotta worry about getting them so mixed up. Anyway, like I said, screw this in. Head goes on. Whoop, sorry. This goes on. Turn it the right way there, dummy. You got it, finger tight's fine. All right, then you're gonna screw this one on. Again, finger tight is more than likely fine. As an M8, let me grab a nutsert. I don't want to open these packs here just yet, so I don't lose them. Well, never mind. I guess I am going to open up those packs. I did buy an assortment off Amazon. These are pretty cheap. These go down to a 6/32 up to a 3/8. But all mine are just these three here. So I need to buy these additional heads for this. I need to see if they're offered. Anyways, now the way these things work, take your head and make sure it fits your hole. Anyways, you down here, this part here, twist, and as you turn it, the head turns. Just use it. I mean, you can screw this part on, but you're essentially going to want to open this thing all the way up and screw this down that way. Make sure that until it stops, the head comes all the way through. what it does, it opens these up. Then when you get this through the hole and you go to squeeze it, it takes a little bit of force. You can see where it collapses that. Sometimes you can open it up usually, get a few more turns on it, squeeze it again, and this just locks it in, basically it sandwiches it between your panel. And that's how a RIFSERT actually works. And then while it's locked in your panel, then you literally just unscrew here and this will come out. Now I did it off camera, but I mentioned earlier we were going to do RIFSERTs. So we got these installed here, here, and here. I had to open up this hole here just a little, but we got them on this side as well. I think that'll work fine. Overall, I like the tool. I think the handles should probably be just a dab longer. I almost ran into one issue. I was putting one in on the front end, and when I did, I kind of shifted, and it popped out just a hair, but when I did it, it already collapsed just a little and had a little swelled spot. Couldn't get it on in, so you got to make sure you're keeping it pressed in while you're, while you're compressing back. So the thing is, with it there out, as you're pushing, you're going to want to come towards you a little. It's kind of a natural thing, but you've got to squeeze and push forward at the same time. But so far, it seems like well made. Like I said, I just don't need to see if they're offering any more head selection with this. I'm actually going to go ahead and swap this back out. But yeah, that's about it right now. I think that's all the tools we're going to review today. I hope y'all enjoyed this one. If you do, like, subscribe, and comment. And thank you all again for getting us to that first 100 subscribers. Next goal is 250. And like I said, I think I'm going to actually go pick up some more of these. I'm going to try to get like all 4 of them again. And that's going to be our next giveaway. Actually, you don't even have to remove this piece, by the way, to do this. If it's not locked in, if you ain't got it just torqued down, you can do it with it still on. So if you just stay at hand tight, well, now I say that, this one don't want to go in. I think it depends on which one you're doing and the collar. But anyways, like I said, on the next one, the next giveaway, current giveaway, I only had, like I said, I was going to give away a shirt initially. The guy who given it to, like I said, I only had a few shirts made up. And not talking shit, don't, whatever. Only had up to an extra large. Gentleman who got the shirt requires a larger shirt. But since it's partly my fault for not, checking first what I'm going to do, and it says give him a shirt, I'm going to have I'm going to go get one of the I Hate People hats made up. And he's going to get one of the I Hate People hats instead of a Baxter's Down South custom shirt. So he's still getting something. Hopefully he likes it and gets as much enjoyment out of that hat as I get out of mine. Turned out, it wasn't rigged or nothing like that. Like I said, I put all the names in random. It just happened to be an old friend of mine. Of course, first 100 subscribers, I know a lot of you guys personally. Friends, family, that's who you get to initially watch. So it should be no surprise. It was a friend of mine who won. But it's a friend of mine I haven't seen in years and has moved away. But he's liked every video so far and commented on a few. So I appreciate that. And we're going to get him a hat made up and sent out. Anyways, so the next giveaway is at least going to be some pliers. It might be pliers and a shirt or pliers and a hat or maybe all 3. I don't know. We'll go from there. We'll figure it out. Anyway, that's the tool review. I hope you guys liked it. Stay tuned for more content coming up. If you don't mind, like, subscribe, comment. Please check out our other videos. Please check out our past videos. Give them a like and comment. Help the algorithm get us out there to more people, more enthusiasts. And we'll go from there. I mean, if you like the tool review and want to see more honest working man tool reviews, I'm not talking about, you know, like I said, I can't afford the most expensive stuff. I'm not buying some Miller or ESOB plasma cutter. This is affordable. You know, your average Joe can afford everything on this table. I mean, prime example, sorry, I know I said it in this video. I'd love to have a box full of Snap-on tools or Matco tools or Cornwell. Those are all great, right? But, you know, there's a lot of the guys starting off in their garage, and you can't afford all that. Prime example, let's see. This one here, Autocraft, which is what, like, AutoZone and stuff carries. I think it's like a $25, $30 ratchet. Matco, this is a $160 ratchet. Great ratchet, I love it. But not everybody can just drop that on one tool. I mean, for 160 bucks, I can get a whole set of the gear wrench. It's like I think it's a quarter inch, 3/8, half-inch drive, and sockets for all, for like $100, maybe $200 at the most. Whereas that was one tool, one ratchet for 160. So shop around, get your best deal, find good quality. It's what, like, these are good quality for the price, and that's what I'm mainly looking for. Anyway, thank y'all for watching. That's enough of a rant. Like, subscribe, comment. We'll catch you on the next one. And that's enough YouTube for today, man. Get off your ass. Go out in the garage. Build something cool. Send me pictures. I want to see it.